Wow, sixth grade, we are so excited about the surrealistic bedrooms that you started last week. I am very impressed that many of you stepped up to the challenge to try out the perspective in your pictures. Don't worry if you didn't get a chance to do it last week. We'll have a quick little demonstration to remind you again about how to do one-point perspective. First though, we're going to watch a video on Magritte. Then I will show you the video that demonstrates perspective. Followed by, we'll talk a little bit about mixed media and how you're going to use mixed media to color your pictures. Keep in mind you're choosing a strong theme. Your picture should show, a theme in your bedroom. It should show a place to sleep. It should show a place to put your clothes, some accessories and things like that, whether you have a desk or a spot to, put TVs or computers or anything like that. So the sky's the limit. We can't wait to see what you come up with, and make sure that you're picking a strong theme.
In the world of Belgian painter René Magritte, nothing is what it seems.
Magritte is all about making pictures that make you think about pictures. He's the artist who looks at ordinary objects, but in these extraordinary ways.
Like a fireplace with a locomotive dashing out under full steam, or this portrait of a man made of a birdcage.
This picture epitomizes sort of the way Magritte creates very clear pictures, and the longer you look, the more you realize that their meaning is absolutely unclear. Look at the type of spaces Magritte is depicting, and think about how claustrophobic they are.
In 1927, Magritte joined André Breton, Salvador Dali, and other artists in Paris. They became known as the Surrealists, creating unexpected, often dreamlike imagery.
You both have an image, a self-image of Magritte practicing his craft, at the same time as you have an image of his conceptual process, because the more you look, you realize, of course, he's staring at an egg.
Right.
But what is he painting?
Painting a bird.
But he's painting a bird.
Challenging the viewer's perception of reality would become Magritte's hallmark. He was something of a paradox. While his works defied convention, there was nothing of the artistic bohemian about him. He often painted in a suit and was married to the same woman, Georgette, for 45 years. Magritte lived a secluded life and died in 1967, but his whimsical, playful, mind-bending images had already been embraced by popular culture. His apple was the inspiration for the Beatles' Apple record logo, and rock album covers mimicked his designs. And how about this eye? Look familiar?
And someone asked him what he thought about CBS appropriating his painting, The False Mirror, the eye filled with sky.
The famous eye was based on his painting.
On his painting. And he sort of felt indifferent about it, because what CBS ended up with was just a symbol on a background that was aiming to sell something or brand something, whereas his painting had no purpose other than poetry.
Billionaire and avid collector Wilbur Ross understands that poetry. He owns 25 Magrittes.
Even Andy Warhol had Magritte. And I think you can argue that pop art couldn't have occurred without Magritte. Pre-Magritte, who would ever have painted a Campbell soup can?
Is it fair to say you are the world's largest private collector of Magritte?
Oh, I don't know. Probably the most active one right now.
Right.
It's just when you get obsessed, you get obsessed.
People to feel and be left with after the show.
I'd like them to understand what a great modern artist Magritte is. He's always saying a picture is just a picture. An image is not the same as the thing itself.
In other words, look and think, because in the world of René Magritte, everything is open to interpretation.
Hello, sixth grade. Today I wanted to do a little reminder and a little refresher on how to do one-point perspective. We started this last time, and remember, it was a complete choice, but at the same time, I'm so excited that so many of you stepped up to the challenge to try one-point perspective. Don't forget that everything goes to the vanishing point. If you notice my window, my bed, the legs of the bed, everything are pushing back towards that vanishing point. One thing you want to think of is making your ruler kind of like pivoting from this point. So everything that you do pivots straight from this point as you're creating it onto your pictures. So if you're thinking about making some type of floor, whether it's going to be a wood floor or a checkered floor, everything goes back to that point. So if I start here on this side, notice that this line here will continue off to the point. Then I'm just pivoting directly from that point and continuing to draw those lines as if they are going off into space, heading back towards the vanishing point. So I'm continuing on, going piece after piece after piece, and maybe eventually this might be a wood floor, maybe I'm going to checker it. I'm not quite sure at this point what I want to do, but what I do know is that everything that I make, again, is going back to this point. So again, think of it like a pivot. I'm making my line and I'm just turning my ruler slightly. This is the same for everything that you're going to do in this picture if you are choosing 1-point perspective. Now, I know I wrote on here last time, so I've got some words. So I'm going to skip my words, but pretend that it's going back to that point, turning back to the point, turning, and back to the point. And I'm going to finish this up over here, so that way you get the full idea of what adding in a floor might look like. And maybe I have a little bit up here. Like I said, I know I wrote words on there last time. Going through, and let's do one more. So again, notice that all of these lines are shooting directly towards that point. Now, if I wanted to make checkered, I could, draw a line that's going across this way. If I want these to be wood pieces, you can kind of do that every other. Of course, I would use my ruler to do this, but I'm just lightly doing this so you kind of see what I'm doing here. But if I have wood pieces, they got to go every other this way, creating that pattern. Showing that those wood pieces would be part of the floor. That again would be going back, whoops, sorry, not there. Would be those pieces that are going back to the point. All right, remember, pick a strong theme, and if you're doing 1-point perspective, everything goes back to the vanishing point. Once you've completed your drawing, go ahead and decide what are you going to color your picture with. Are you going to use markers, crayons, colored pencils? Are you going to use oil pastels? Decide what you're going to use to color your picture and choose a variety of mixed media. Once you complete your drawing, go ahead and hop on over to Seesaw, upload your pictures so your art teachers can see what you've accomplished. In Seesaw, you will find 3 different templates, one for you to upload your completed surrealistic bedroom, one with the examples of the room configurations, and one with different examples of surrealistic bedrooms. We look forward to seeing your artwork.